Hey guys, welcome to the first video on my channel. Today I'm gonna run you through some quick tips about duck call. Now, disclaimer, I am not by any means a good duck caller. If you want to really learn how, like perfectionists learn how, I'd suggest watching one of the big name brand duck call videos. But I don't think I'm half bad and I can teach you the basics. So, this is the BGC Mallard Hammer, and I got it in a double pack. It came this call and a goose call for $30. I thought it was a steal. So, this is what I got. And from what I learned from duck calling is that there's three main calls that you use. And it's a simple quack, a feeder call, and a comeback call. Now, before we get to calling, we gotta talk about air. Because most people, when you first say, here, blow on a duck call, they go, now there's about a million things wrong with that. So first, you can't let your cheeks puff out at all. Like, they gotta stay firm when you blow. Because if you do, it doesn't make the right sound and you can't channel enough air through the call to make it do the right thing. So step one is don't puff out your cheeks. And two, breathe from your diaphragm. Like, get your air exhaling from your diaphragm and lungs, not from like just blowing. So it's got to be instead of like, you probably can't tell much of a difference between that. But when you breathe from your stomach, like, because it'll push more air through the call. And yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. How I hold it is I have the call and put on my hand, place the call just like that in the crease. Grab my two fingers, so actually one finger, and then cover up with the rest, and that's how I hold my call. When you blow, I like to add voice because it gives it a realer sound, I think, because this is one without like voice. So actually first, adding voice sounds like this. So it's that's regular. Now, I think, like, I'll show you the difference on the call, and you tell me what you think. So, this is without voice. This is with. I think it's pretty noticeable of a difference. So, first, you're going to start off with a quack. It's basic one breath of air. It's that's pretty much all there is to it. When I quack, I like to say what into the call. What. That's kind of using voice, like how you use your voice when you say what makes a really good sound in the duck call. And it's like the quack. So that was just one basic quack. Now you can string them together. You can go slow, like I was, like, or you can make it go fast. Excuse me. Throat's a little dry. That's pretty much all I use for quacks. So that brings us to our second, which is the feeder call. So there's plenty of different things that people do. If you're a beginner, like I was, you would start with the single breath or single beat feeder call. You'll see a difference in a minute. But so the single is just tuk 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 tuk, and what you want to build that to is tuka 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 or dugga dugga dugga. So the single is which is a great way to get kids involved in the sport, have them start using a call. Works. And then once you get that down, what you want to try and build is dugga dugga or tuka tuka. Now both of those work. It's a double beat call, so it's and you want to try and do it fast. But both of those work. I find dugga dugga to be easier, so that's what I use. Been using it since I started, or trying to. And pretty much what this call does is it lets the ducks use the quacks to get their attention, and once you have that, what the feeder call does is exactly what it sounds. It lets them know that, hey, there's food there and there's ducks there with the food. It must be safe. So what the feeder call sounds like is this. Now, as you could tell what I did there, I like to cap off my feeder calls with a set of quacks slash a comeback call. It's kind of a mix. But, pretty much what I was doing to change the pitch is I would just move and open my fingers. And that's all. Because it allows for different pitches to make it realistic like a duck. And also you saw that I was moving the call. It kind of projects the sound more over. And a duck doesn't sit still when it's eating. It's always moving. So, here's that. Then the final call is a comeback call. Now, this call doesn't have to sound like a perfect quack by any means. It's just got to be loud, and it's got to get the attention of those ducks. So this is the call you use when the ducks are way out there, and you got to try and get their attention, or when the ducks have started to circle away and starting to lose interest in your spread. This is your last shot call. You're gonna get their attention, or you're not, and it sounds like this. Just blow as loud as you can. Try and do everything you can to get those ducks' attention. And now, it's got to sound somewhat like a quack, but it doesn't have to be perfect by any means. So, now, I'm just going to run you through a little, calling sequence that I've used before, and I found to be effective. So. And pull up and shoot. And yeah, so that's, I don't know. You gotta call the ducks based on how they respond to your calls. If they don't want any interest, well, you might as well stop. And if you give them the clacks and they start coming, judge, I'd say about 150 yards out, start the feeder call, just so they have plenty of time to think, plenty of time to react, and make their decision. Um, if they start cupping, get softer, because ducks really aren't as loud as we make them out to be. They can be, but usually they're not. So I get softer. Sounds more realistic. Plus, it's got to bring the ducks in closer to here, kind of thing. And if they start to get a little louder. Excuse me. Okay. And I don't know. You just kind of got to play it by how they respond, and then go from there. I don't know. It's a lot of experience, a lot of practice, but anyone can do it. Well, guys, I think that's going to be the end of the video. Like I said at the beginning, I am not the best caller, not the worst, definitely not the best. There's a lot of fine-tuning things that I still got to work on, like pitch and stuff. But those are the basics of duck calling, sorry. Those are the basics of duck calling. And yeah, I think with a lot of practice, it'll be just fine. Peace.